When we talk about philosophy, we tend to talk about ideas someone has written down. As discussed in the previous video, Thales has no surviving texts and might not have written any in the first place. His student, however, did. Ancient authors credit Anaximander with a book called On Nature, and only a single fragment from it survives today. This makes him the earliest philosophical writer whose words we can still read. Today we will discuss the life and philosophy of Anaximander. The one fragment has been preserved by Simplicius, who tells us that Anaximander continued in his mentor's footsteps, searching for the source and element of all existing things. In contrast with Thales, however, he did not name the element, and it is said he disputed that it is water. Rather, Anaximander names it the boundless, or the apeiron. With this backstory in mind, Simplicius gives us the oldest surviving fragment of any philosophical text.
Whence things have their origin, thence also their destruction happens, according to necessity. For they give to each other justice and recompense for their injustice, in conformity with the ordinance of time.
This is a poetic representation of how things are formed from the apeiron and how all things go back into the apeiron. Remember, the arche is the underlying principle of all things. It has no beginning or end, but the things that are made of it have their end in their source. The lines about justice, recompose, and injustice are, in Simplicius' view, a metaphor for how the four elements change into each other. This is why earlier he mentioned that Anaximander breaks with claiming the arche is one element, since all the different states of the world can be encompassed in the boundless. They are not generated from one element, as Simplicius points out, but are made from the separation of opposing forces due to eternal movement. But really, everything I have said so far is viewing Anaximander in the way others viewed his philosophy, namely Simplicius. He preserved a fragment which says nothing about elements, the arche, or the apeiron. All we have is a piece of poetry that describes the process of change and balance. We can, with some confidence, claim Anaximander did have a theory of the boundless, since this claim is repeated in many different sources, with opposing views to Simplicius. Beyond that, it is hard to say much more. Some credit the second philosopher with creating a map of the world, which has been lost to time, but it probably looked like this. He was also apparently interested in astronomy, and he theorized that the Earth was cylindrical in shape and that it stays in the middle of the universe. The rest of the objects in space are wheels with holes on the inside. These wheels are filled with fire. The closest are the stars, then a larger wheel is the moon, and the largest wheel is the sun. Again, these are second-hand accounts, so take all this with a grain of salt. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If so, like, share, and subscribe, and don't trust everything you read.